ladies and gentlemen. Here's a gorgeous look at Port Royal Speedway. Got a couple of push vehicles out there right now, just trying to get the racing surface all rolled in as I welcome you back to today's show. Seriously though, this is one of the best seats in the house. If you sit up here right outside of turn 4, not only can you see the track, but the mountain ranges in the background. The sun also made its way out as we had a lot of overnight rain, and it was a little iffy if we were gonna get today's show in, but between the track, the officials, the staff, the World of Outlaws, they did a phenomenal job, and we're definitely gonna get to race this afternoon. Being here in Posse Country, it has been a unique opportunity for myself. Definitely super thankful to be racing for Shark Racing and being the 1T. I know the last couple of videos we have struggled mainly just getting the car qualified, and then that puts you so far behind that you're just always trying to fight forward from the back. And when you're racing against the best drivers in the country, it's not just necessarily easy to pass them, even if you do make your car better. So once again, tonight the goal is to qualify good. We've been making changes to the 1T, doing our homework, trying to get ourselves closer to the front and just get that much faster in qualifying. So we're hoping to find just a little bit more early on. And then the last thing to discuss, the racetrack. With some overnight rain, with the cool temperatures that are going to be hitting us about when we're, running, you really got to keep an eye on what the surface ends up doing. I think it's going to start out fast, but there is that chance that as more laps get run in and, third night of racing, it could really start to slicken off. And even though, like I said, it was pouring down rain just 12 hours ago, none of that's even going to matter, and it could be even slicker than it's been all weekend long. You just have to keep a close eye on it and really see what it's going to do. Anyway, here in about an hour or two, we're going to have the pit meeting and then roll right into hot laps and qualifying, expecting anywhere from 45 to 50 cars for tonight's 15,000 to win show. So our night is underway and qualifying is now complete. Ended up timing in 8th quick in our flight. In total, we have 41 cars, so they split us right down the middle, and we actually laid down a solid time as the racetrack started to get slicker and slicker. So I think this is what ended up happening. I told you we got to keep an eye on the racetrack, right? Because the rain and everyone's thinking, man, it's going to be lightning quick. I'm talking to all these people today, fans and stuff, but I don't even think they got the chance to go out there and really work it. So hot laps right away, it's blowing dust, and by the time we all went, it was basically on the fence. So for qualifying, you had to have your right rear up by the wall. A couple guys dropped down and made the bottom work, which if your car was good enough and you hit it right, it was fast, but I ended up just running 2 laps around the fence. Felt good, my car was comfortable. The main thing I just need to keep working on is just slowing my arms down on these big tracks. I think it's easy to be so tense when you're trying to be right rear plugged into the curb that like the short track in me comes out, and when you're nervous about, when you're going so fast and you're nervous about hitting just the right spot, it's easy to I don't know, like I said, you're just going, and so naturally your arms sometimes speed up, which is not always as fast. And I had a good lap going there, and my second time by through 3 and 4, I don't know what happened, but I just lost the left rear of the car down and got sideways and all out of sorts, and would have had a much better time than I did. Anyway though, we're in a better spot than we've been all weekend. We're going to be rolling off from 4th in our heat race, and they're going to be transferring the top 5. So like I said, I just need to keep working on some little things, but our car's really close, and now it's going to be all race mode, which is going to be, basically run wherever the cars in front of you aren't. nothing crazy fancy there in the heat race. Started 4th and finished 4th. Actually got a really good start and was in 3rd going into turn 1. Just needed to maybe run a little bit of a better corner, or potentially jump to the high side. It's always kind of nerve-wracking going into the first corner at these big tracks because your line isn't necessarily where you want to go. Sometimes it's just depending on where the cars in front of you go. So if the car in front of you goes to the top, you can't necessarily just follow them, and if they kind of split the lanes, you're just trying, like I said, you're trying to find a clean path. And overall, I thought we did an okay job of that, but just didn't get down the back stretch. So Peck got back by me. Just got into 4th there, and then everyone kind of just did their thing and ran 8 laps, and now we're going to be transferring into tonight's feature. Feels good to be in the A. I just look at it now as we have an opportunity, you know, to make our car better and actually run a race and not be just fighting just to get in it. Port Royal is a big ice skating rink though at the moment. There's a little bit of a curb to lean on. Down here it's not as good as 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is a little smoother. You can get right up on the fence. 3 and 4 is more treacherous. Overall though, I'm happy with the balance of my car. I just think I need to just keep working on being better behind the wheel. This place is so tricky. In 1 and 2 you got to get right up on it. 3 and 4 at the moment, the fast lane is kind of right above the bottom where it's getting really clean, and a lot of it is, you know, moving your wing throughout the race, you know, getting drive, kind of changing, and always trying to find that little bit more as you keep running laps. Moving into this feature, we're going to take one more swing at the 1T. I think we're going to have to go tighter and tighter and just try to keep our car straight, locked down into where we can basically roll around anywhere from bottom to top. So they just posted the lineup. We are going to be rolling off from 16th in tonight's feature. The main goal here is going to be about getting a good start. A lot of things are going to happen since we're so far back in traffic. Some guys are going to go to the bottom, some guys are going to go to the middle, some guys are going to go right below the top, and then some guys are going to go to the first corner and just put it right on the fence. I think realistically you can kind of move around and do whatever. It really just depends on your race car, how you enter the corner, your throttle points, how much brake you use. There is so much going on a place like Port Royal, the Speed Palace. Just because it's that technical and the racetrack's so wide, so you really have options to do what you want to do. I think that we're going to try to shoot to be more on the tight side here. I just think it's going to be more beneficial, trying to get more drive, get the car to where we can roll around, just like almost like on an asphalt track. Straight, wheels underneath us, and basically build as much momentum as we can. I do think we're going to have to use the high side too and be careful up there with the curb, but in traffic, it tends to be more difficult to run the top in dirty air, and then keep an eye on 3 and 4. But as I said, it just doesn't really look very promising down in that corner. But I'm gonna watch the B main event. It's just getting ready to roll out, and then we'll be strapping in for our A. Dang, man, we are the last ones to leave tonight at Port Royal Speedway. Track's all dark, I don't get to show you nothing. Had a great time hanging out with fans afterwards, and the Shark Racing team, they just finally hit the road. Finally got a good night of racing in during our Pennsylvania swing. These posse tracks were kicking my butt. Williams Grove did. We, struggled with some stuff, and then the first half of this weekend we struggled, but tonight finally got in position to where we made something happen. Started 16th there in the feature. A little bit of a slow start. I think if I could have been on it a little bit earlier, maybe, put myself in a different spot here or there, could have even added to our run. But there, second half of the race, found the top side in 1 and 2, almost like I was on the top, but I was kind of driving to it in the center of the corner. I wasn't really entering on it. Grabbed a ton of wing. A lot of guys are running the bottom, running the middle. I made the high side work and made good speed down the backstretch, and then mainly, like everyone else, was running the bottom in 3 and 4 and made some passes there, and like I said, had a good run. And with that, had a ton of fun. Port Royal is an awesome racetrack. This place was slick all night, had a good curb to lean on the fence, and you had to be on it. There wasn't, don't get me wrong, some guys made it work kind of running below and making the middle work, but by the time you get that close to the fence, I feel like you're almost better off just to let the right rear hang out there and try to build speed, because once you get plugged into it, you can hit the gas and you just build more and more momentum. And just so happy for my team that we had a good run. These guys have been battling it out with all the struggles and keeping their heads down, not complaining. I got Bobby Allen behind me, Tyler, Blake, Carly, my crew guys, and just everyone that's a part of Shark Racing that helps it go around. The Outlaw Tour is no joke, traveling to different tracks and seeing different parts of the country, and this is just the start for me in all this, as we're kind of wrapping up the 2023 World of Outlaws season. But I'm having a blast, and tonight I definitely found a little bit more of a smile that I had a good run. And you can't see nothing but Port Royal. It was a blast. Last but not least, a big thank you to Lowy Insulation, Mark Pell and Pell's Tire Service, and Smith Titanium and DMI, and then also to the World of Outlaws, Shark Racing again, and Posse Country. I'm officially leaving the area, but my first trip here was good. These tracks that are gigantic and technical and slick, there's something else. The fans are something else. Seeing how much people love sprint car racing here, it really makes me happy, and definitely want to get back out this way again, and hopefully will in 2024. All right, I'll see you guys all in the next video. It was a lot of fun banging the boards at Port Royal and running right through the slick, wing back, passing cars, and was able to get a top 10 finish with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. Deuces.